Hey guys, Sandy here. Welcome back to the channel. I am feeling worse than I was yesterday. I actually left to work early, came home, and slept on the sofa for a good hot minute. But I wanted to talk to you about this. I don't think I'm going to make a layout with it, but I want to see if the second part of my idea will work. So, if you guys remember, this was my inspiration piece, this watercolory look, right? Definitely a different look because I'm using different colors, but I think the combination of the Distress Oxide and my Chroma Mists really made something cool. Now, because I let the water pool and let it dry naturally, it does have this edge around it. It's like this natural border almost, and you can see on the other side, it's there. So, and this, there was so much water that this thing actually warped a little bit too. So my idea is to make this completely shiny. So I'm going to be using my Brutus Monroe embossing powder. Now this is a big one, right? Most times when you get embossing powder, you get embossing powder in such size, right? This is 1 ounce. This is 6 ounces. So 6 of these fit in here. This is my favorite clear embossing powder ever. It is Icicle. If you decide to go check it out, please use my Brutus Monroe link down below because I will get a small commission. Now I am, doesn't add extra to you. I am using my older Brutus Monroe ink pad. As you can see, I have a nice, oh, that one's kind of jacked up too. Hopefully, do I have a nice ink pad still, or do I mess around with all this? I guess they're all getting kind of jacked up, but this one was really jacked up. It's a little bit discolored, and I just put re-inker on it, so it is kind of chilling out there. But I figured I would use this one because I don't know how this is going to react with the Distress Oxide, right? Like, I don't know if the liquid of this is going to do something and it's not going to let me emboss. I'm just not sure. So we're going to figure that out. I'm going to shut up because it hurts to talk. So let's see what I can do. So I sped up the embossing super fast because I really don't know what I'm going to say for all the minutes that it took for embossing. So I'm using that embossing ink pad and I am just placing it down on half of my page right now. I'm using that Icicle embossing powder that I told you guys about. And the water from the, sorry, the water from the embossing ink definitely does something. And yes, I had to test out and see. This is that makeup brush that I use as like a stress ball. I had to test out and see if it would melt with the heat. I would have been devastated if it melted, but it didn't melt, so it's all good. Anyway, the water from the embossing ink pad did change the color of the layout just a little bit, or the background, I guess you should say. But I'm okay with it. It doesn't bother me. The changes are fine. I'm not like freaking out or anything like that, so that's always good. Now this is watercolor paper, so there is a speckledness to it. I wanted to see if I put a lot of embossing powder on, if I could get it smooth, and I could. That is a lot of embossing powder that is on that spot right there, and hopefully when I show you the close-ups, you'll actually be able to see it. But I just wanted to see if, you know, if I could get that more smooth look, and I can. I did decide, however, that I'm not going for it. One, because I think I like the texture better than a smooth look. I like the texture showing through of the watercolor paper, so I like that a lot. So I'm going to leave it that way. I will just ignore that super smooth part or cover it up with something. I haven't figured that out yet, but that will be what happens.
So my idea did work. It did make it shiny because I liked the look of it when it was wet, and I figured that the embossing powder could give me that same look. And it does. It's similar. It does change it a little bit because that Distress Oxide reacted to the water. But all in all, I'm happy with it, and I think I'm going to actually scrapbook with it. We'll just have to see when that's going to be. See, you can see that really smooth part right there. And my finger's pointing to it, like you can actually see me point my finger to it. Anyway, guys, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys again real soon for another video.